How's it going, everybody? I got a quick knife review for you here. This is the Condor Woodlaw. I think it's a Woodlaw. Yeah, it's the Condor Woodlaw. Now, I bought this knife as a blank. You can see that I put curly maple handles on it. The rivets I used, these are 16 penny nails. Countersunk on one side and peened over flush on the other, and then ground off smooth. I've had this knife for about a year now, and for all last summer, this was my everyday carry knife. I used it all the time. The steel's great. It holds a good edge. The thing that is really groovy about this knife is its simplicity. The handle is, well, this handle is homemade, but the one it comes with, the handle, if you buy a factory-made knife with factory handle, very ergonomic. Sits in your hand great. The Scandi grind on this, yeah, everybody likes a Scandi because it's easy to sharpen and it holds a good edge. But the simplicity, that's the key on this knife. That's what's really stupid cool about this knife. It is ergonomic, it's just the right size, it fits your hand good. Let's take a little closer look. Oh, there it is. What a beaut. And the beautiful thing about this is that the handle is about the same length as the blade. And for a usable tool that you grab and it just feels right. It's really difficult to go wrong with this knife. This is a great piece of gear. The case for it, this is a homemade case. I made it out of a chunk of briefcase. Got a couple extra offset rivets just because the case over time kind of got a little stretched out, a little loose. And not much needs to be said about this knife. After having had it for a year and used it for having it my daily carry all summer, I've got to say that simplicity is the king, man. This thing is, it's a great knife because it has no contours to the handle, nothing fancy to it. The tip is, it's got a nice sharp point, which you find useful quite often. I'd have to say I'm completely satisfied with this knife. If I didn't have another knife, I'd be happy to just own this one. Hard to go wrong with that. So there you have it. There's kind of a different take on the Condor Woodlaw. I'm sure you've seen a million different reviews. If you're interested in this knife, you've probably watched them all. I hope this was a little bit of a different take on the same concept. This knife, I paid $14 for this blank. And the handle was free, and of course the nails didn't cost me anything. The sheath cost me the cost of rivets. I think the briefcase came out of the dump. For $15 and some time, I've got a custom-made knife it's everything I could want. The thing I really think that needs to be expressed about these knives, it's not the specs or the details or what really matters is how they feel. How do they sit in your hand? Are you comfortable with a knife? Do you tend to leave a knife in a drawer, or do you want to make sure that you have it? Those are the things that determine whether a knife is a great knife or not. And this knife, after significant use, I've got to say I can find no fault with it. The only reason the handle is in such great condition is because I've sanded all the grime and funk off it several different times and just put a new coat of oil. It's actually smaller than when I first started using it. I've sanded the handle down enough. It's lost a little bit of dimension to it. So this has been a well-loved knife. I try to clean it up whenever it needs to be cleaned up. I try to sharpen it whenever it needs to be sharpened because I actually like it. I like carrying it. I think it's as close to perfect as a knife can get. And that's why I wanted to do this review, to tell you what I think of it and to tell you how it feels to use it. And my personal opinion is simplicity's king. It's a great knife. Thank you much for watching this review. Have a good one. See you soon.